Hey guys, I know one of the most common questions asked about college admissions is what are the different admissions windows? I know when I was a student in high school and I was looking towards applying to colleges, I had no idea what any of these were. I distinctly remember sitting in my psychology class junior year, about to be summer, and my friends talking to me about like, where are you applying to ED? Like, do you know yet? Or I'm like, dude, what is ED? So I was way late to the game, and today I'm going to kind of share some info I wish I had readily available to me when I was trying to make my decision of when to apply, where to apply, stuff like that. So let's talk about them in order here. We're going to start with ED, which is early decision. And the key word for ED is binding, which means if you get in, you have to go. Now you might be thinking, why in the world would I ever do that? Well, matter of fact, we actually call ED a college admissions cheat code because it can boost your admissions chances up to 4 or 5 times. The school I go to, Dartmouth, the regular decision acceptance rate is about 4 to 5 to 6%, somewhere in there given on the year. But the ED acceptance rate is up to 20%. So you're talking about a 4x chance of getting in if you apply early decision. Now, you might be a little scared of that commitment and you might not know where you want to go. I was in the same boat. When I was applying to college, I didn't have enough school knowledge to clearly state where I wanted to go. And I wanted the kind of optionality of picking and choosing colleges once I got in. However, once I got into a couple colleges like Vanderbilt and Dartmouth, I was like, oh man, do I wish I applied ED, because making that decision was so tough. One of the hardest decisions I've had to make in my life. And so you think you want optionality, but in retrospect, you're kind of like, well, maybe I wanted that 4 to 5 admissions boost. So highly consider applying ED, especially if you have kind of a clear top choice, or if even one school sticks out above the others. I would definitely mark that school down as ED. You get a great boost in admissions chances. And yeah, it's a college admissions cheat code. Of course, the con to this is it is binding. So if you get in, you have to go, which is a little scary. But I mean, you're going to have to make a decision eventually. So you might as well make that decision up front and reap the rewards of a 4 to 5x admissions boost, which at a school like Dartmouth or any of the other Ivies or top 20 schools is insane. You're going from like a 4% chance to like a 20% chance. And that's just, I mean, there's nothing else in your application that can do that besides literally ticking the ED box. And the thing about ED, early, it is early decision. So you apply like by November 1st instead of the standard January 1st, and then you hear back mid-December, which is awesome because all my friends who applied ED and got in, they knew where they were going to school by mid-December, and I didn't even know where I was going until late April. So, I mean, it's awesome. Now, of course, you don't have to apply ED. I didn't, so it'd be a hypocrite if I said you had to. Now, here's some other options. We got restrictive early action. This is actually what I did. So restrictive early action is an alternative to ED. So schools don't have both. Now, I'm going to write the word restrictive here because this kind of defines what it is. And it's in the name. So restrictive early action means you can only apply early action to this school. Or, I guess in a more technical sense, you're not allowed to apply early action to any other private, keyword private, university. So I applied restrictive early action to Princeton, but I still applied early action to North Carolina, UNC Chapel Hill, and UVA, University of Virginia. Why? Because those two are public. Now, it was restrictive early action, so I could not apply early action to USC, which is a private university, which was kind of the one downside of applying restrictive early action for me. But I did want a little bit of a boost in admissions chances, and I did want to hear back from a school early, like the rest of my friends who were applying ED. So when I applied early action to Princeton, I think it was a November 1st deadline, and I heard back December 15th that I got rejected, which it's kind of awesome that you hear back that early, but it did kind of suck that I got rejected. So restrictive early action gives you a little boost in admissions chances. It's not kind of like the 4 or 5x that ED gives you, but it gives you a little boost. I'm sure at Princeton, Harvard, it's like a 4% or like a 3% chance, like a 7% chance. So it's like a double, but still pretty low compared to ED. But if you're like me, scared of commitment, don't know what school to apply to, consider REA. So you can get a school back really early and you kind of have a clear top choice that's hanging in the back of your mind. Okay, early action. This is restrictive early action without the restrictiveness. So, like I said, I applied early action to UNC and UVA. Again, you apply by like a November 1st, December 1st, November 15th deadline, and you get to hear back February, early March, which is, again, awesome because you go in a drought. I mean, I got my Princeton one back December 15th, and then I had to wait until like January 30th to get my next one back. But if I didn't apply early action, I would have had to wait all the way till mid-March, end of March. So early action is awesome. You get to hear back from schools early. You get to kind of know what schools you're into. It helps you make your decision. You can go visit them if you haven't already. And this isn't restrictive, but it also doesn't give you admissions boost. It's just you apply early. It's just regular decision, but you apply early, which is awesome. So here I put normal and rolling. I guess the word for normal is regular decision, and rolling. This should be pretty standard. You apply January 1st, some schools even February 1st. I know Michigan's pretty late. And you hear back mid-March, end of March. No admissions boost, no binding. When you think of college admissions, you're definitely thinking of regular decision. Now rolling, they do it at some public state schools. You can just apply whenever. So I know when I applied to Iowa, I applied probably November, and I heard back like the next week that I was in. But you could also apply in like March, and they would tell you the next week if you were in or not. So rolling is just kind of concurrent. You can apply whenever, and they tell you whenever. A regular decision, you apply January 1st, and you hear back mid-March. So I'm just going to do a quick recap. I'm going to write the dates where you apply to each, and then the dates you receive each back. Kind of lay it all out one last time, and then send you on your way. So for apply, and then result. So ED is about November 1st, but I think sometimes it might be like a little later, like November 15th. And then result, you should hear back December. REA, the exact same. Early action, pretty much the same on the application. And then this, I'm pretty sure you can hear back anytime from December to like February, depending on the school. And now this is just pretty standard January 1st to March. Now this pretty much covers it. These are the windows, and I hope this video helped. I will add on one last comment about ED. Some schools, to make it even more confusing, offer an ED2. So, I applied a restrictive early action to Princeton. I don't get in. Now, there's an ED2 to Vanderbilt. I was heavily considering this. Vandy was my top choice at the time. And basically, ED2 gives you a decent boost in admissions chances, but you apply in the normal window. So it's basically like early decision, but like regular decision. But it's still binding. It's really confusing. Not many schools offer it, so you don't have to worry about it. But it's just another opportunity to like tell a school that they're your top choice, and that if you get in, you're gonna go. So that's kind of a niche case. If that shows up, just think early decision, but during the regular decision time frame. All right, that'll do it. I hope this helps, and I hope the dates kind of make everything clear. Thank you.